What's today's date, somebody?
It's the 16th.
16th. All right. So we got our Monday group here. This is weird. I normally do it differently. We got our Monday group here. It was brought to my attention that some people in the company were having issues with spuds, so particularly toilet spuds. So we're going to talk about that. All right. So this particular tip or trick is mainly for toilet spuds. Okay. I ran through this with a lot of my new guys. You get a free lesson today. Look at that. You're already learning day one. Inside here, you're learning plumbing trade secrets. Look at that. See, that's all good. Take it easy. So for a spud, I'm gonna talk to you guys like you don't know anything, and we're gonna go through this. So if you look at this, this is what connects the flush valve vacuum breaker tube to the actual toilet. Okay, so this is what makes the top side assembly be able to tighten down onto it. And there's a little bit more to it. There's a discussion that tightens it down. The gasket actually makes that, but this is the receiver on the porcelain toilet. So the way it works is the bottom has a horn on it, right? And as I tighten this nut down, it's going to force this rubber gasket, and it's going to expand over this horn, and it's basically going to sandwich the top rubber gasket and the bottom rubber gasket between the porcelain with friction. And obviously, it's not just metal because it's on porcelain; it would crack. Makes sense, right? Okay. So for this, when it comes to tightening down, if you look in here, there's two little notches. Okay. Everybody see that? Camera see that? There's two notches. All right. This is a tub wrench. Okay. Fun thing about a tub wrench, we don't do residential, so why would we have that? First place. Okay. So small side, sorry, large side. If you look at it, I always say it's like the silver little castle, right? When you play chess. But you take that, it's perfect. It locks in, it doesn't spin. Okay. So you're gonna go ahead and put that in there. You take your shank and your screwdriver. Dude, this is like a shank for. Oh, this is a file. Oh, even better. Man, that's the weirdest screwdriver ever saw. Now you have a T. Okay. Now this doesn't move. And then what you're gonna do is while I'm holding that as a T, right? Imagine my hands like this. Okay. I'll use AI in editing later. I got a huge. I got a huge file budget. So then you're gonna use your larger than this channel locks and tighten this down. Okay. That's gonna make sure that it doesn't go there, because what happens, especially with a lot of you guys, what you guys do is you try to hold it or something dumb, and then or you don't, and then you just tighten it, and then you get it to the point where you tighten it and it starts to spin. You're like, all right, it's good, it's tight enough, right? It's not. It's not. It might work for a day, but as soon as Fat Susie flushes the toilet with her foot, right, it's gone. So what's happening is through the movement of toilets, taking a toilet off or whatever, or just not checking in general,
Swift. It's just mud. Stop walking through mud. We're going to the
Alright, I'll show you where the vacuum is before you leave.
Get your job back.
Oh, I'm going to. I do it every Monday. No, we're doing this. So it's at so on the US Jenner, if it blows off at 4, we want you running at like 5. Just to be safe. Okay. We also did all the math to basically like how many times you can run a tank in an hour, and it basically comes no, excuse me, in a I think a 4-hour period they said. I have to go back on my notes, but basically that's part of the thing. So like, it all stemmed from a guy being somewhere and like running his jetter for like 8 hours and then like not getting things done. And then he went out there and like did it like instantly. So we're gonna kind of go over the practices and the times and that, and we'll go a little bit more in depth in that. But understand that the most important thing is 2800 on the R's, 3500 on the US jetter, and more like how many. Basically, I said that to say this: when you're asked how many times, how long were you running a jetter? 2 hours. Okay, how many times did you fill up the tank? We know the math because we just built the theorem the other day. It's not hard; it's basic math. What's the GPM that it puts out versus how big is the tank? And it's going to let us know, and then how did you fill it up? Garden hose, 3/4. Okay, the GPM of that. I mean, for plumbers, it's not that hard to figure it out. Means it should be this about. You're like, I filled it up like 5 times. A, that's not possible. You know what I mean? Or B, you had, I one whole tank. It's like, okay, well, you just wasted a lot of time. Make sense? So they're just cracking that. And it's all about efficiency. I know that you guys are like, oh, this time is money with us, dude. At the end of the day, like,
How much money did you lose on a stupid time?